Hello everyone, it's me again. Let's keep talking about marketing. This is the second part of the product discussion because remember in the previous video I said that there are two approaches. We know better than customers. Let's ask customer approach for product development. And in this part, I will keep digging more about the value to customers, right? So let me give you an example. I really wonder your opinion about this. There are three like basic shirt, white man shirt on my screen, right? So those are all white, like the formal shirts that you can see. So which one is looking more valuable to you and why, all right? Please just share your explanation on answer it in the comment section and tell me more. Why do you think whether A, B, or C is more valuable to you just by the looks of it? Because there is no brand information, there is no price information, you don't know anything about the material quality, you cannot touch, you cannot feel anything. By just the looks of it, you have limited information, so you can either look at the models and then decide one is better than other, or the looks of the shirts itself, right? And I like just share your examples, and then I'm gonna give you more information, okay? Because what I'm trying to tell you is with this, that only look of the shirt itself without any brand information, you don't understand which one is more valuable. So how about now, right? So just revise your answers. Maybe just share your answer before I reveal the brands, and then after I reveal the brands, and tell me how your answer has changed, okay? So if you look at the brands, the A option is Marks and Spencer, B is Ralph Lauren, and C is Dior. Okay. Now let me know which one is more valuable to you and why, and what changed, because it's the same shirt, same model, and same material. Everything is the same. Actually, you don't know anything about it, but now you have some information regarding the brand, and the brand brings memories. The brand brings all those memories, either bad or good, and then you decide which one is more valuable for you. Okay. And then if you also look at the prices, right? So M&S is 45 pound, Ralph Lauren is 135 pound, and Dior is 780 pounds. So do you think this price differences, right? So Ralph Lauren is 3 times the price of M&S, and Dior is 17 times the price of M&S. Do you think the brand itself can justify this price value, right? And why? I don't think the material itself will enough to explain the price difference here, right? And then what else then? So we need to understand what is valuable for the customer, okay? And when we have pricing discussions, don't worry, I'm gonna keep discussing this a bit more and in an elaborate way, but just for the sake of this lesson, just keep this in mind. Brand actually brings more information, more than the functional value of the product that you get from the product. So this is called brand wheel. And in the brand wheel, or product wheel, whatever you want to call it, so the product levels based on perceived value to the customer. So all product has a core benefit, and then surrounded by basic product, and then expected product, augmented product, and then potential product. So let me continue with the shirt example. So the core benefit is I need to wear something to go to work because I need to wear a formal shirt. Okay, so that's the core benefit. I need a formal shirt. It doesn't matter if it is Marks and Spencer or Dior, but I just need a formal shirt, white shirt. And then for the basic product, right? So you need a shirt because you cannot have any like other things because it's a dress code at the work. So you need to wear something, and then you need a shirt. Okay, so that's the basic product when you want to wear something. Okay, but expected product now brings in some other considerations. It says the shirt should be my size and comfortable. You don't want to wear a saggy shirt. Okay, so you want a shirt with your size, and it should be comfortable. Maybe material quality should be good enough because you are going to wear it all day long. And then the other level, in the other layer, for the augmented product part, you want the shirt be very stylish and from a well-known brand. Why? Because of your social atmosphere, right? So because of your social surrounding, because of your friends, or maybe the work environment, people wear the stylish and well-known brand shirt, and then you want to be part of your community, okay? So that is the augmented product part. And in the final part, now you want something even more customized or special, and said that, you know what, I would buy the same shirt if it had a zip instead of buttons, right? Because you prefer zip, right? And you try to find a product like that. And that is like different levels. But it is also important to know that our expectations from products are also different depending on the context. For example, we can classify product based on their consumption visibility. So maybe the consumption visibility is high, like fashion items, because whatever you wear, everyone will see it. And then your concerns regarding the product is different than a product with low consumption visibility, like a mattress. Because when you buy a mattress, you know that no one else will see the brand of your mattress, and you don't care. You buy a good mattress because of yourself. If you really need a good mattress, whether firm or soft, you want it, or you buy it based on your needs and demands, okay? On the other hand, when it is high consumption visibility product, right? So if you know that it's a conspicuous consumption, everyone will see it. And then what do? You actually pay attention to more social aspect of it, right? So, oh, when I wear this to work, or when I wear this when I go for shopping, what will other people think about me? And then your buying behavior, purchase behavior will be different. So we know so many other product classifications, like non-durable versus durable goods. And again, our considerations or criteria for purchasing those items will be different. Or based on involvement level, we have low involvement product and high involvement products. For the low involvement one, you don't pay a lot of effort or like attention. It is just, small items like confectionery goods. But for high involvement product, you think rationally, you get a lot of information and then process those information to buy the best product out there. Sometimes you buy something because you really love it for hedonic purposes. You enjoy buying, wearing, or using those things. Or the other times you buy something because you need them, right? So you need that, so utilitarian benefits that you get from the product itself. And sometimes you don't even need, like you don't even look for a product, like life insurance, and you don't know a lot about this, but you need it when they call call you and say that you need this because of this and that, and you buy those products, right? So you are not actually looking for insurances most of the times. So apart from those, we also know that products are like humans, right? So they come into this world, they grow, they reach maturity, and they die, right? So they get older as well, and this is called product life cycle, right? So introduction stage or launch stage, and growth stage, maturity, and decline stage. And there's an interesting theory about this. It's called diffusion of innovation, first coined by Everett Rogers. This is a really interesting story. It's called diffusion of innovation, and now most of the technology products are always using the diffusion of innovation theory. But Everett Rogers did a study. He was a sociology researcher at the time, and he did a study with farmers and how they use pesticides, new pesticides, right? So, and you can see, like, the similarities between a pesticide and high-tech artificial intelligence product. Maybe there is not much, you would think, but because of the approach of customers to new product, you can find a lot of similarities. So what Everett Rogers said, he says that when there is a new product in the market, there are people he called innovators. They are okay to use this, like try this product, and they generally represent 2.5% of the overall population or market size. And then when these innovators use this product, early adopters see that product from them, and they start using those products. So early adopters need further proof, further confirmation from those innovators. And if a product can reach this segment and can jump over this chasm to reach the early majority, then there is a high possibility of them surviving in the market, right? So most of the products, and according to some figures, more than 95% of the new product introductions fail. they just, you know, couldn't make this jump and they just die here. Okay. And that's a really important phenomenon that you should know. So reaching the early majority is critical. And then after that, if you do everything right, you can grow even further, and then you can keep it steady even, because not every brand, every product dies like the classical product lifecycle theory states, because there are different patterns in product lifecycle as well. So in this pattern, so product sales reach steady state, like a steady state sales figures, and then stay there. Okay. So for example, think of, I don't know, Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is actually have like the stable, maybe even like a little bit growth even, right? So they are not going into decline with the same product over 100 years, right? So, but they do many things right. Sometimes we see the recycle pattern. They introduce something new, new feature for the product, and then try to, you know, keep this pattern, and then again try to have a steady sales over years. And sometimes we have even increased sales over the years as well. So let me give one example. So think of Instant Pot or slow cooker. So when they first introduced the product, they were like a really big growth. Everyone was talking about it. But right now, the sales are probably not growing that much. They have a steady sales figure. And for the cycle recycle pattern, if you remember, or I'm sure we don't want to remember this, but first they introduced the first phase, and many people, actually more than 95% of the population, they got the vaccines. And then for the second one, not that much, right? So maybe 70%, 80%, even all the forcing, even all the rules, etc., still they didn't reach the first cycle, right? So, and for the scale-up pattern, think of ChatGPT. When ChatGPT first introduced the ChatGPT 3.0 version, so they were increasing, they had increasing sales, but then they introduced GPT 4.0, then they added DALL-E text to image generators. Now recently, they added text to video generators, etc. They keep introducing new product, new features to increase their sales and their user base. Okay, so that is something that you need to know when you introduce new product. There are different patterns, and also there are different customers that you need to reach, right? So if you can activate innovators, they will help you to get early adopters, and then you can jump over the chasm to stay in the market. Okay, so if you like the content, let me know in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and because I will keep producing marketing related videos, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.